The thing about the WNBA is that if I'm not mistaken, the WNBA has lost money in every single um, year that they have been in existence, and that goes back to 1997. It might be maybe last year was the first year they turned a profit. I don't think they've ever turned a profit though, if I'm not wrong. Um, Now, what they're asking for is like a larger revenue share. So, like in the NBA, the revenue share is 50-50 between the players and the owners. In the WNBA, it's 90-10 between the players and the owners. So the owners get 90% of the revenue. Now, the thing about it is that, I mean, that might seem unfair, but it's like if you're not, it's like if you're not, the WNBA is so, I'm sorry, the NBA is so profitable that you can see why the, I mean, the players are making so much money for the league that you can see why they would have a larger revenue share. But if the WNBA doesn't make any money and only loses money, you can kind of see why their split would be like it is because they're not really bringing anything to the business, right? So I mean, in order for the owners for it to be worth their while, they should have a larger revenue share, right? So what I was thinking was, as far as their salary goes, basically the WNBA only exists because the the NBA subsidizes it. The NBA pays like $15 million a year just to cover for whatever they need, right? The WNBA only exists in the first place because because of the NBA, right? So if you think about it on the other hand, it's like I mean, I guess it's not really set up that way, but it could be, right? Like, why not just take another 15 million? They only have. I mean, the NBA may have so much money that they basically have 50. I mean, that $15 million is chump change. The NBA has so much money. Like the average salary in the NBA is $11.9 million. That's the average salary, right? So I mean, the NBA makes so many billion dollars every year that little 15 million that they throw to the WNBA to allow it to exist and keep going, it would be nothing for them to take another 15 million and just go, okay, well that's for the players so that they have they make a little bit more money, per year, right? Because if you think about it, they haven't earned any of it. They haven't earned the league itself, right? So to give them a little bit more money that they haven't earned, it's like, what's the difference, right? Um, the thing about the WNBA, bro, is that you have to, and I like it because, yeah, the basketball is terrible. It's a terrible product, the actual game, but it's something else in the summer for me to bet on, and I think I like it because there are only 12 teams, and because there are only 12 teams, that makes it easier to like kind of handicap things because it's not as many players, and you can kind of notice different trends and stuff like that. But I was watching a clip of them. They were at practice. The Sparks were, and Cameron Brink was shooting some free throws, and they broke out into this like shooting game or whatever, right? And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, okay, really, nobody's really interested in the WNBA like that. Besides, like the off the court, like women, I guess will watch it and like kind of just like watching like Basketball Wives or something like that or Baddies, right? And that's the type of interest that women have. It's not the actual basketball, right? There's interest in it from that standpoint as far as women go. But the actual basketball itself, like nobody's really interested in that, right? But they're working out and they're practicing and they're breaking this like little shooting game. And it's sort of like, I was like, man, that's cool. It's just like the big three or it's like imagine if there was like a basketball. I mean, it's like you have other basketball leagues besides the NBA that don't really matter. They probably have women's leagues overseas or whatever, right? And it's just something to do, and you make a little bit of money doing it, and you love basketball and you play. But that's the problem. It's like There's no reason to act like it's like a serious. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not a serious, but it's mistakes. They call it the WNBA, and that makes it seem like it's like a real league, and really, it's not. It's not, bro. It's not real. It's women's basketball, you know. So, and then they think, well, oh, well, we're owed something. But if it wasn't called the WNBA and it was just called, the WBL, and I think there might actually be is that like an actual women's basketball league? Like they would just call it the Women's Basketball League. They wouldn't be demanding more money because they would know what it is. It's just something for them to do. It's just like if you're like a super rich guy and you go, okay, I got money to burn. You got a girl, and you go, okay, what do you want to do? You want to open a nail salon or a beauty salon? And you just let her do it, right? Because you got the money to blow. And then you go, okay, but I'm only going to pay you $10 an hour. And she goes, well, why not $100? I was like, why not, right? If you didn't have the money in the first place to blow, you wouldn't even give her this little business to have. So that's kind of how I look at it. But like basically the NBA should just donate another $15 million just so the women can have more money. But that's certainly not anything that they've earned. But of course, women don't really think about earning; they just are entitled and they go, well, if we complain, then maybe they'll just give us what we want because that's always what happens, right? But Charleston White said that that happens. That's not how it happens in like the world of like you know employment. Like if you're a woman and you want more money, you don't get it by complaining. You get it by doing something else.